All right, we're at the June 1st hearing of the Reston Association on the proposed indoor rec center. What follows are excerpts from that hearing.
The Reston Association met jointly with our management staff teams to discuss community desires from both organizations' perspectives with respect to recreation and to see if we might work together to address those. We were very pleased that both boards were eager to see if combining resources would provide our community with cost-effective opportunities to increase services, facilities, and programs for Reston from the outset. That we would only do so with the consent of the community, and that we would only do so if it could be accomplished without raising the small District 5 tax rate. We have not changed from those two principles.
I've lived in Reston for 14 years with my family.
Excuse me, are you speaking for your
I am
organization?
speaking for my organization.
Okay, you have 6 minutes.
Won't need it, but thank you very much. I've lived with my family in Reston for 14 years. I've served on the Reston Association Board of Directors from 2004 to 2007 and 1 year as the president. Over the past few weeks, over 1,000 people have signed our petition opposing the destruction of Reston's natural and financial resources. Our coalition is broad and it includes all Reston districts. The proposed joint RA-RCC recreation facility at Browns Chapel is basically flawed, but there are better alternatives. The RA board is specifically, many people believe, is becoming conflicted between representing its members on one side and siding with Fairfax County representatives on the other. Members, and we can all dispute what level of recreation is needed, but one thing should be clear. The Reston Board, Reston Association Board, does not report to the RCC Board, Kathy Hutchins, or Fairfax County developers. When we look at the alternatives, it appears from an RCC perspective. On the other hand, the RCC Board does represent Fairfax County. The board is appointed by the Fairfax County Supervisor and serves at the pleasure of the supervisor. So it, in one hand, is looking at it from a Fairfax County perspective, and I think this is also where one of the big conflicts reside. When we look at the alternatives, it appears RCC prefers a Walmart-sized facility on Reston Association private property. The certain RA board members, and it gives the appearance, are coddling up to this approach and is more interested in serving the Fairfax County Supervisor than the members who have elected them. We've heard a presentation which has changed pretty significantly from the draft that was put on the website and then taken off the website a few weeks ago. At that time, we had costs somewhere about $65 million. Today, we have a cost of about $49 million. But the cost, no matter how you look at it, is outrageous. The number of $49 million, I'll use the consultant's numbers, does not include $33 million, and this is out of their report that they just put out at 5.5% interest over 20 years. It would be another $33 million in interest financing. This, coupled with the projection of another more than $1 million annual operating loss, would put this project at well over $100 million. And this represents, many believe, the wants of a few. A big difference between wants and needs. The numbers that the consultants put out actually disproves the case and really shows the demand. When you look at the demand and even at their own numbers, and their demand has increased significantly over the last 3 weeks. But if you take a look at just as tennis, and there are other alternatives, but tennis and swimming at their own numbers that they put up on the board here, 92% of the users would be non-Reston residents. 8% of them, 860 out of the 7161 that was up on that board. 8% would be Reston households. On swimming, 81%, 82% would be non-Reston residents. Doesn't necessarily mean we don't have a need, but this report shows that this facility won't be used by 90% of Restonians. It'll be used by Fairfax County. The operating financials also is a very serious issue. These numbers show an annual operating loss of $1 million. And when in fact the operating statement that is up there omits the cost of rent or the cost of the facility, which would be about $4.1, $4.2 million. So therefore the annual operating loss is actually about $5.2 million annually, based on the numbers that they put up there. The revenue doesn't even cover the rent on the facility. They've omitted rent and taken personnel costs, non-personnel costs, and at their own words, basically says after the facility is paid for, 20 years down the road, after $82 million, after the facility is paid for, it'll come close to about 80% of the operating expenses. So this is, and with regards to the Wrestling Association, I'll specifically say we have retained legal counsel, and we have heard, and don't want to have any words parcel, we've heard a referendum is needed. The concern we have is with the word if. If there is conveyance of member property, and we will take legal action against the RA board if it attempts to circumvent RA members regarding any attempt to convey RA land without a super referendum. This includes land swaps, long-term leases, border changes, or any indirect attempt to circumvent Wrestling Association member rights. We will take legal action against the
I'll be brief. I'm going to work from a prepared text. It's one that was prepared actually by the Wrestling Association Board as one of their promotional marketing pieces to try to attract people to wrestling. It has maps on it and shows you where all the facilities are, the outdoor facilities. So here we go. Living in Reston is like living in a park. More than any community in the country, Reston was designed to have a significant amount of open space available for the recreation of its residents. You've probably noticed the abundance of trees, flowers, and trails. Natural spaces were considered essential for the enjoyment of residents when Reston was just a dream. Today, the Reston Association enhances, it protects, it manages and maintains more than 1,300 acres of open space, including the 72-acre Walker Nature Center, 4 lakes, 3 ponds, common ground featuring woods, meadows, and wetlands, including Browns Chapel Park, by the way. These beautiful spaces give Reston its special park-like feeling. This evening we heard a presentation by Brailsford and Dunleavy filled with statistics and demographics and financials, many of which have been questioned by people here who maybe know more about that than I do. The one thing that I do know is that that study does not touch the heart and the soul of the Reston community in any way, shape, or form. That's not only and believe me, it's not going to fly. Thank you very much.